Hello and welcome to Crypto Exposed. Ripple new report shows 9 out of 10 central banks exploring CBDCs. Well. Look guys, I've told you this numerous times. I've seen it before when I'm doing videos about XRP being utilized for CBDCs and stuff, and a lot of people don't like it, right? And I do completely understand that. CBDCs are scary. I'm not here to kind of sugarcoat that at all or try and pull the wool over your eyes. But the thing is, CBDCs are inevitable. They are here. They are here to stay. There's not going to be anything we can do about it. They are coming whether you like it or not. And I say it all the time. You can either bury your head in the sand and argue against it, or you can try to capitalize from it. That's your options, in my opinion. And so when I see this kind of stuff, although I don't like where it's heading in that sense with CBDCs, I know that it's coming and I know that there's nothing we can do to stop it. So I just look at the positives to it. I look at the fact that, hey, XRP is a coin that I hold, and it looks like they're going to be utilizing XRP for this kind of stuff because this is one of Ripple's strong use cases for XRP. So, hey, this is going to bring value to the asset that I'm holding. So I'm just looking to the positives of this, guys. It's not that I'm here rooting for CBDCs or anything like that. I'm just very aware that this is something that we can't stop. And so I'm just putting myself in a position to capitalize from it. So I see this kind of stuff and I'm like, okay, great stuff. At least I know that this is going to be something that's going to be beneficial to me in the long term. And that's just my way of looking at it, guys. Everybody else can see it differently. That's obviously your choice. But this is great stuff to see, in my opinion, right? Ripple are huge. They really are. And when it comes to CBDCs with XRP, I think they're going to be the front runners for this kind of stuff. I really do. I think they're going to be the main benefactors when it comes to that kind of use case. I'm not saying absolutely every central bank will use Ripple. That's not a guarantee. But I do think they'll have the lion's share when it comes to this kind of thing, because Ripple have been talking with central banks for years. This is one of the many things that they've been doing, as well as cross-border payments. So they've already got like the partnerships there. They've already got the networks and stuff like that. So they're already in the great position to do this. And we know that the XRP ledger it's just one of the most efficient networks to use for this kind of use case, right? So I really do think that they're going to be the big players when it comes to CBDCs. So what this is just showing you is, of course, great stuff that all the banks are looking at this kind of thing. As I said, it's inevitable. And you can see that it looks like it's going to be XRP that they'll be utilizing for the most part. So great stuff to see in that sense, right? But let's get into the article and then we can discuss this a little bit further. A recent report from Ripple suggests that 9 out of every 10 central banks are researching CBDCs, with some of these central banks turning to Ripple for CBDC partnerships. Central bank digital currency, in brackets CBDC, is a concept that has been gaining traction in recent years. The COVID pandemic, a decline in cash payments, and the growing adoption of cryptocurrencies have played a part in the growing trend. Ripple has highlighted the growing CBDC trend in its latest report. According to the report, 9 out of 10 central banks are actively exploring the possibility of launching a CBDC. The report is based on a study conducted by the Bank for International Settlements. In the 2022 study, 81 central banks were surveyed. BIS reported that 90% of these apex banks are working on different stages of CBDC deployment. Growing global adoption of CBDCs. The CBDC tracker of the Atlantic Council confirms the 2022 report from BIS. According to data from June 2023, 130 countries are in different stages of CBDC development. This figure represents 98% of the global GDP. The Atlantic Council reports that 19 of the G20 countries are in advanced stages of CBDC development. In addition, 11 countries have fully embraced the CBDC technology. China leads the pack, performing over 3.6 billion in monthly transactions with the digital yuan. Juniper Research confirms the growing trend, predicting that CBDC payments will reach 213 billion by 2030. Central banks are turning to Ripple. Central banks are turning to Ripple for CBDCs. Ripple's VP of CBDC, James Wallace, suggested that partnerships with the private and public sectors are essential to drive CBDC growth. According to him, the central banks can control the infrastructure while the private sector introduces the innovation. In May, Ripple launched a platform to help central banks issue their CBDCs. Ripple's CBDC platform allows central banks to mint, distribute, redeem, and burn tokens. In August, Ripple reported that 8 central banks were already building on this platform. The platforms offer apex banks more customizable and efficient CBDCs. The Ripple CBDC platform is powered by the XRP ledger, in brackets XRPL. However, it is built on an independent private ledger. Ripple explains that countries are increasing their adoption of CBDCs because the technology offers greater efficiency in both domestic and cross-border payments. CBDCs can also help them expand their financial inclusion by offering access to payments and credit products. The increasing adoption of CBDCs will also be felt in the private sector. As a result, they have predicted that CBDCs will have the potential to reshape the global banking and financial system. Okay. So, as I was saying, guys, the proof is right there. Central banks are turning to Ripple for CBDCs. I told you that these guys are going to have the lion's share when it comes to this kind of thing. This is Ripple and XRP's wheelhouse. This is what they're specialized for. This is one of their main use cases. It's where they're going to shine. It really is. And so I really do think, as I was saying earlier, it's inevitable. The banks are already looking at this kind of stuff. They're already exploring this kind of thing. It is going to happen, guys. There's nothing we can do about it. You have to accept it. It's one of those, evolve or be extinct, basically, right? And so the way I just look at it is knowing that it's going to be so big, I'm positioning myself to be an asset that will capitalize from it. That's as simple as I can put it. As I said earlier, that's looking at like a $230 billion market. And that's just in a few years. So imagine how it can be as the years continue to progress. I really think this is going to be a big deal, guys. And so for me, personally, this is just my opinion and the way I'm looking at it. I want to be in a position where this is something that I can benefit from it. Because I already don't like what CBDCs are really going to be about in terms of control and privacy. So for me, it's really just a thing of, hey, this isn't great, but make the best of a bad situation. Put yourself in a situation where this can be a negative that you turn into a positive. And that's where I think XRP is going to be the asset for this kind of thing. And so that's why I'm positioned with an XRP, because this is one of the things that I think they will thrive in. And I think it's going to be a big market in the future. So really great news in my opinion, because there's nothing we can do to stop CBDCs and it's going to benefit the asset I'm invested in. So for me, this is good stuff to see. But what do you guys think? Central banks looking to Ripple and XRP for CBDCs. Is this something that you like the sound of? Are you happy to know that you're in an asset that is supporting this kind of thing? Do you think this is something that's going to greatly benefit XRP and its price in the long term? Or is this something that you're not really too happy with and you don't really want Ripple and XRP to benefit from this kind of use case? Or you just don't really think it's going to do that much for a price? Let me know your thoughts, guys. I'd be interested to hear. Thank you very much for watching this. If you did like it, please remember to drop a comment, like, and subscribe. But until next time, take care.